Hello, and welcome to another episode of Going to the Gemba, our journey to observe Kuraray employees working to serve our company, our customers, and our community. Hi, I'm George Avday, President of Kuraray America, and today I find myself in College Station, Texas, at the Texas A&M Engineering Extension Service Fire Training School. Behind me, you can see there are 300 acres of fire training and rescue facilities for rescue teams, firefighters, emergency response teams to learn about how to manage an explosive fire situation. Our response team, and we have about 40 people here today, will be fighting these fires. Goodness, I can feel the heat right now behind me from that fire. So let's begin today's journey of going to the Gemba. All right, they say you got 2 minutes to put this on. You aren't gonna make it, Ricky. Yeah, you don't have your adrenaline going. I'm here with Eddie Navarro. Eddie, what's your role at Kuraray America and your role in emergency response?
Hey, George. My role here at the eval, I'm a frontline supervisor, as you know. I'm responsible for the overall safety, quality, and production on the production side. And then on the emergency response side, I'm also in charge of incident command. So anytime we have an incident at the plant, I would assume the role of incident commander.
What is the incident command system?
The incident command system, it's basically a standardized approach to the command, control, and coordination of emergency response. It's basically a common hierarchy from within that allows multiple responders from multiple agencies to kind of coordinate, work together, and be effective.
How does everyone know what their role is in case of an emergency response situation?
These emergency responders, they basically, anytime there's an incident, they're going to report to a staging area where they're going to await further instruction from the IC. They've all had extensive training here on the fire ground, so once they're assigned a role, they'll know exactly what to do. These guys are going to work together to help mitigate these fires once they're assigned a role, and they're going to work together using a key set of principles we like to follow. 3 sets of principles, 1 being life safety, 2 being incident stabilization, and 3 being property conservation.
So do you drill often, not just here, but at the sites?
That's correct. So at the site, we have a quarterly drill that helps us prepare for events like this. And as you can see here, as we look behind us, we come here to A&M about once a year to get some very good hands-on training here at the Texas A&M site, which is, like I said, top-notch. So.
Okay. So you do quarterly drills at each plant site.
That's
and
correct.
Coordinated among the plant sites? Do you do that?
Coordinated amongst all 3 sites. We use a mutual aid system with the 3 sites. So that is coordinated between the 3 Kuraray
Mutual
sites.
aid system. Okay.
That's correct.
That's good, yeah. How long have you been on emergency response?
I've been on emergency response for 15 years here at Kuraray.
15 years.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. I'm very impressed with your knowledge of this subject. Well, Eddie, thank you so much for your service to emergency response. All right, Darryl, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. It's gonna be a big one. Well, now I'm here with Dan Drawn. Dan, what's your role at Kuraray America, and what is your role in emergency response?
George, I'm a member of the production department at the Septon plant, and when we have an incident or emergency, I am the EOC leader. EOC stands for Emergency Operations Center. It's a command and control center for managing emergencies.
How often do you run a drill that requires you to go through an EOC system?
At Septon, we try to run a quarterly drill, although we do a weekly readiness for the communication, which is sending out the text message, running the alarm, just going through the weekly check of the system.
All right, well, Dan, thank you so much for your service, and thank you so much for participating in our emergency response teams.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Well, they just lit off the scenario. This is going to be like 5 different areas that the emergency response team is going to have to deal with. We'll have to see how they manage this fire. I'm here now with Jeff Suggs. Jeff, tell me, what's your role at Kuraray America and your role in emergency response?
So for Kuraray, I work in the HSE department. In emergency response, I kind of coordinate and manage a lot of the response, the emergency management pieces, the crisis communication, and those things for the company.
So does that include all of our sites?
It includes a lot of our sites, but a lot of our sites are in complexes where we have multiple companies together and they respond and do their training together.
So as I look around, I see there's at least a half a dozen, maybe 9 different groups of people here at different stations training. What makes this facility the best in the world?
So this facility is the National Emergency Response Training Center. It also brings somewhere in the neighborhood of 43 different countries that'll come here and do training. They have their own industrial school, their own municipal school, and their own Spanish-speaking school. Everything is a controlled burn, but yet so realistic, just like it would be back home.
I can see one of the valves has a leak, and a chemical is coming out of it, creating a blowtorch effect. One of the realities our emergency responders would have to deal with in a real situation. Woo! Woo! Oh my. The heat is amazing. It is so intense.
Our goal is to never have anything like this take place at any of our Kuraray sites. But in the event that it does, we want to have the best training for our people so that we can mitigate it and take care of the community.
Who from Kuraray is with us today going through this training?
So today we have the Septon, Eval, and Poval plants and a couple of folks from the Fayetteville, North Carolina facility as well as LaPorte Fire Department.
So among those 3 facilities, we have a common emergency response team?
That's correct. The Septon, Poval, and Eval plants work in mutual aid trained together.
It's extremely intense right now still. So it's about 50 degrees warmer on the downwind side than it is on the upwind side. How many years have we been coming to this facility?
This is our 2nd annual corporate fire school that we were doing on our own just with our companies.
So, you've been in the emergency response business a long time. What have you observed about Kuraray and what can we do to make emergency response better?
So Kuraray, the greatest thing about Kuraray is they're willing to learn. And so where we're going to go next is we don't want to get complacent. And so we're going to continue to train. But I think that our key is we also need to drill. And we need to exercise more internally and with the other sites together so that we can understand the relationships that we've built together here at the fire ground, on the rescue training ground, the hazmat ground, and everywhere else. So that, when we do respond with each other, we absolutely know what the other person may be thinking and how they're going to react.
It's amazing the engineering that the Brayton Fire Training School put into this so we can safely experience a fire situation in our operation. That wasn't just realistic, it was real. The heat, the wind, the smoke, the intensity of the situation. I'm incredibly impressed by our volunteers who have joined our emergency response teams at our sites. This training is critical for them to be able to protect our people and our plant in case a situation like this would ever occur.
We never want to have to use any of this training. We want to make sure we have engineering controls and constraints in place so that we don't have these things. But when they do happen, we want to make sure that our people are the best trained at the best facilities across the world so that we can mitigate these things from happening and take care of the community as well as our own employees.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's certainly all of our jobs to be mindful every day of the tasks that we're working on to prevent such an event. But it's also very important in a comprehensive safety program to have the training and the feeling of how to deal with an emergency should one unexpectedly occur.
That's right, and that's why we're here today.
Jeff, thank you very much for organizing this for us.
Thank you.
So this concludes this episode of Going to the Gemba. What you learned today is part of Kuraray's comprehensive safety program, dealing with an emergency situation. You saw our emergency response teams from Eval, Poval, Elastomers, Fayetteville, and some local emergency responders work together to put out a huge chemical fire. They felt the fire, they smelled the smoke, they dealt with the wind. But of course, we want to prevent all incidents. The most important aspect of our safety program is preventing such incidents, and that only you and I can do that every day, to be mindful of the task at hand and to recognize hazards as we do our responsibilities, whether in the office, in the plant, or at home. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Going to the Gemba. See you next time.